Big one is universal order ID that can flow all the way through. It makes it a lot easier for not only our participants, but also the technology providers as well. Because another key thing, interoperability. The lack of interoperability can be a challenge. And you can have these technology solutions or these innovative products, but it can see the workflows and systems talking to each other. If they can't talk to each other, then that's an issue.
Where did the idea for DMIST come from, and what's the vision?
The origins of DMIST started in March 2020. So when the industry experienced a massive backlog of give up trades and unallocated trades during the high volume, high volatility, we kind of bent but didn't break as an industry. It exposed some things that have been inefficiencies for quite a long time. But it turns out that there were issues with margin, and there was issues, capital charges that firms may have been taking if they were an executing broker leading the trades. And we, as the FIA board said, let's take a look and see, do lessons learned, let's figure out what happens with everything we can do. So the FI board came back at the end of 2020. We, at the FI board review session, said, let's create a board level committee to look at what we can do, how can FIA help facilitate, help change, create best practices or standards, or really assess what happens. In fact, that eventually led to the formation of a task force. It's called the FI Task Force on Open Standards, and it had brokers, it had exchanges on there, buy sides on there, brought in vendors. We hired consultants, a Genix consultant, to basically go out, reach out to the industry and kind of assess what they're about. Eventually, that group came up with some recommendations. It was called at the time a blueprint for standards and operation and efficiencies, which then led to the recommendation that let's form a standards body that acts as a governance structure that allows us to bring together all of our participants and try to solve some of these issues. One of the most important things that we did as part of the structure was put together an 8-step process, which is all on. We now have a website, DMIST.standards.org, that outlays all this, but we have an 8-step standards development process. We want it to be open, transparent. We want anybody to propose a standard. Every standard has to be measured, and it has to be trackable.
What's on the agenda for this year?
We're working on a standard on average pricing. So we released a consultation paper last fall. We received public comment on, and we've been doing work there to try to finalize a standard on average pricing, which is recommending that the standard is that exchanges be able to offer average pricing and be able to standardize across as much as they can, because that's one of the friction points for reaching 30 is average pricing works. It's great when it works, but when it doesn't, it's very challenging because everyone in the workflow has it. Every exchange is different. Some don't offer it. FCMs have filled the gaps and offer some of their own bespoke average pricing. So it's one of the first key friction points that we want to address. And as part of our strategic blueprint, we're putting together a roadmap for our future standards development. We've identified specific buckets. We're working not only internally, we're working within DMIST, we're working with our FIA groups, we're working with external groups as well to understand what their priorities are and how we can partner with some of them or join some of those folks to create standards and propose that DMIST. We've partnered with a fixed trading in October on an event in New York. I'm speaking in a couple of weeks at the SEC conference in Boston. So we're trying to foster those relationships as well and trying to bring everyone together. We're excited for the future. We really think that with the momentum that's building, and we've had a couple of recent memberships that have been exciting. TPI Cap joined in February, and so we're really looking forward to taking the next step. We feel like we have the support and resources to help execute our vision.